No, no. And oh, here I just put it up here, okay. Now, I got two more folks came. Okay. We way down the residential area. So we asked the ambulance man, we stopped.
You want me to tell you how we did it back? Get out here and tell me. Y'all welcome to the 1942 reunion.
But you said I put this hot light on you.
Y'all can't get this. Kill that woman. So ask Lynn, I said, how old is she right now? I said, it's been 8 years.
Yeah, we've been through that.
Come on.
Hold that pose right there. Oh yeah. I'll be right on up there.
Hey, now listen, don't be breaking my camera on these color folks back there.
And not Chicago, we talking Cleveland. Right life, oh we love them. Thank you movie stars, but we ain't.
No. Wait,
got you.
All right.
We'll ride back on the bus with us. Hey, Bob, come in on the table, Bob. It's about to turn it over.
Michael Jordan.
About to turn the table
Look
over.
out there. That money ain't Willie.
Set up, put it on the table.
Shut up. Got the money, you got it made. Cleveland baseball players over there.
Hey, we started off strong.
Hey,
I'm knocking.
hey, they beat New York over there. They doing something right over there.
We ain't bad, you know, we rookies growing up. Give us a year or two. Cavs be strong, Cleveland be strong, Browns be strong.
Don't say nothing about the Titans.
Hey, I think Detroit beat us though.
I go man now. That was luck.
They beat us 2-3 though. Big Cleveland 2-3.
Right there.
I was mad about that.
Yeah. I get you from this way. Look up this way. Young lady. What'd you say?
I told Bella I had this big smile and she knew it. You know, that's about this thing.
Shirley, turn that thing on.
Let's bow here. Good morning, our Father.
Uncle Bud, could you come over here so they can hear you?
Let us bow here, please. Our Father in heaven, we come before thee this morning. We want to thank thee, our Father, that you will meet today. We realize, our Father, that all power in heaven is trusted in your hand. We ask you, our Father, thou will go with us through this day. We ask thee, our Father, that thou will bless us with such blessing you see that we stand in need of. We ask you, our Father, to go with us as we leave this place on our way back home. And our Father, when we've done all that we can do, can do the more. We ask you that thou will give us home in thy kingdom, where we can praise thy name forever. Amen.
Breakfast is served. We ask that you please stay seated. The hostess will be around to bring each table up, so stay seated until she comes around to get you.
Whenever you come over? No, I'm sending one down now.
from the last reunion. The 40th anniversary reunion of the Richardson, Pitts, and Poindexter family reunion was held in Baltimore, Maryland, with Mrs. Mary Meacham, Mr. and Mrs. Oscar Cobb, and Mr. and Mrs. David Green as our host. The picnic was held at Patapsco Valley State Park. The social hour was held at the Ramada Inn in Baltimore on Saturday night. Excuse me. The family reunion business meeting was called to order. The minutes were read and approved. We had greetings from Bishop and Mrs. Clinton Coleman, presiding bishop of the 12th Episcopal District of the African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church. We then had remarks from the podium representing Lizzie Kate McGee, representing the Poindexters from Chicago and Pittsburgh, Grover Poindexter, representing the Poindexters from Cleveland, Oscar Cobb, representing the Poindexters from Baltimore, Albert Richardson, representing Johnny Richardson, Pinola Tate, Sharitha Richardson, Mildred Ann Jewell, representing Lula Richardson, Johnny Abney and Michael Abney, representing Irene Poindexter, George Richardson, Rosie Combs, and Willie Henley, representing themselves. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? The minutes stand approved as read. We're going to get started this morning with Julius. Albert is not with us today. We can't seem to get the two of them together. But we'd like a word from Julius Richardson.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me? Well, it's always a distinct pleasure to attend our family reunion. I was just talking to Pinolia here. I have the distinct pleasure of being related to the Pitts, the Poindexter, and the Richardson. That makes me unique in some respect. My grandmother was a Pitt. My father was a Richardson. And my father married a Poindexter. So that gives me the distinct pleasure of being related to everyone in this family. As I said once before, the family is the smallest unit in any society. And the family is a cornerstone of our society. I feel very strongly about this, and I'd like to make this recommendation, that we get some historical past connected to our reunion so the young people will begin to know where their roots are. It's always something that is instilled in an individual to know that he came from a distinct family that there are many of you that have made a contribution to society in such a way that it needs to be recorded. And it's always a pleasure to know that the young people coming along will have something that they can relate to. It's another interesting thing how we have progressed. When the first family reunion started, we had picnic baskets. Each family brought the food, and we gathered into had a small gathering. Now we have moved into modernization, TV cameras, and we're much more advanced than we were before. And just to look from the very beginning to the new is quite something different in my mind when I look back and think about this. I've also had wondered many times where this family will eventually lead to. Where will we go from here? And that's another important thing that we should consider, with the young people, and to instill into them some of the things that have happened in their past, that they may have something to go on and further in life, because it's always a great help when they can have a recorded history of their past. I think it gives something to the individual. I was just also thinking, and Rosie, and my father, and Rosie, right now, she's 93 years old. And she looks like she's 78. And she moves like she's 78. I like to ask the family, what would be the greatest thing they'd like to see accomplished among them? What would you like to see happen?
He'd like to see a history book of the family, which is being put together now.
Oh, it is? Who's putting that together?
I'm the one going to try to do the book. I got a printing company that's going to print the book, and one of us is going to pay for it. But the book will be given to everybody here who wants.
When will that be planned? And when will that be planned at Wally? Next year. Now, isn't that great? Just to think about that, you can go back to the time that the first one came here as a slave, and you know where your extended past comes from. That's a great thing. That would be one of the greatest moments that this family reunion have ever had, when that takes place. Well, that's about all that I had today, although I have to apologize that I didn't wear a suit. But I had no idea that I'd be standing here this morning before you. But after yesterday, as hot as it was, I thought I was in proper attire. I thank you.
And Willie, we didn't hear what you were saying about the book. So when you come up for your talk, would you elaborate a little?
Yes, I will.
Okay. And thank you, Julius. We're going to move right along and ask everybody to keep your speeches a little short so we can get everybody in. And next on the podium is Finola Tate.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me out there? Okay. Can you hear me? Yep. My name is Pinola, Idaho, Richardson Tate. I was born in Brinkhorn, 1910. I want to say something about my family. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You got to stay in the mic.
Okay. I want to tell you something about my family. Can you hear? Yeah. Okay. All right. I got it right now. First, I want to talk about my Uncle Bud. His name is George Washington Richardson. And when we were small kids, we used to go up to our next door neighbor, what you call Uncle Peter Lett. They had tall oak trees, and we had a swing on it that we made with cable cable, swings made out of cable wire, and we get up and we are pumped way high up in the trees. So this day we were playing with an old buggy, and my uncle George was pulling this buggy around, and he cut Rutia's finger off. That's the tip end of it. He got so excited he ran off and left me. When he got home, he thought about me. He came back and got me. He caught me by my right hand, and my grandmother had made me a bonnet, and I had my left hand on the back of my head holding my bonnet on my head. He would carry me so fast until my little feet were barely touching the ground. So the next thing I remember about him, he was wrestling with Carl Station, and he broke his arm. He sicked the dogs on the cats. He tore down the dirt dauber nests out of the cedar of the house. And he was a lot of fun. The next thing I want to tell you about Clifford, this is another story about Clifford. Back then, every Thursday Sunday we have, at Pickle Rest Church, we have church every Thursday Sunday. My Aunt Lula used to go down to Aunt Ring's house and always pick up one of the kids. So she went down this Thursday Sunday, so she asked Aunt Ring, said, which one can I take back home? Said, can I take Clifford back home with her? Aunt Ring said, I don't care. So she took Clifford back home with her. So when Aunt Lula got home, she asked Clifford, she said, Clifford, how was church service today? And Clifford said, oh, Aunt Lula, you should have been there. He said, Daddy cried, Mama cried, Aunt Virginia cried, and said, no, Uncle Fred, he just bellowed. And so, next, this is about the boy from my home. I'm going to be through after this one. His mother gave him a quarter and sent him over to Fred Chaplin's grocery store. And on this road that he had to travel was a dirt road. There were a lot of sand beds in this road. So on his way over to Fred Chaplin's store, he was walking along and he dropped a quarter in the sand bed. So he got down and started digging for the quarter, trying to find in the sand bed, trying to find the quarter. He couldn't find it, so he went back home and told his mother what happened. When he got back home, she said, how on earth did you lose that quarter? He said, well, I was just walking along, flinging my hand, and the quarter just flew out. So she gave him a sifter. So he went, this sifter, not made like the type we have now, it was round, made like a wooden fruit bowl, So he went back down, he started sifting sand. He sifted sand from Mrs. Ida Poindexter's house all the way down to Moses Mill Creek, which were about 1/2 mile. Thank you.
We always get a bit of history from Pinola, so we always